Knives are the most essential thing in every kitchen. They need to be consistently sharp to make consistently good food. But right now, my knife here is as dull as my brain, and it's about time I sharpen this beautiful tool. Now, let's do a test and see how dull my knife really is. I have some paper here to try and cut, and it is not going through at all. Not even catching the paper. It is truly abysmal. Okay, but maybe it can cut through a rolled up piece of paper towel. It's just one piece of it, right? Alright, let's get in there, and nope. No, not even close. It couldn't even go through a layer. Honestly, it's so bad, I might end the video here and buy a new knife. But I need to make content, and you probably need to watch something while eating cereal at 9:32 in the morning. What I have just placed down is a Whetstone. You can find it on Amazon. They're roughly $15–20 and are extremely useful and the key to making any knife sharp. If you are wondering what these numbers mean, all they mean is coarse level. The lower number means that it will take large pieces of your knife to make the general shape of the knife, and the higher number means the smaller the pieces that it will take, meaning this is usually just the polishing side to have a more consistently sharp blade. The first step into actually using the Whetstone is to put it in a comically large bucket like this, or whatever you have that will work. And we need to let the Whetstone soak for 15–20 minutes in water. I don't have water in here right now, so let's fill this up until the Whetstone can fully submerge in here. Now that it is filled up a little bit, I'm just going to shut up and you guys listen when I put the Whetstone in. Really satisfying, isn't it? Anyways, after some time has passed, take the Whetstone out of the water, but do not discard this water. Just put it off to the side. You'll see why in a second. Now, usually Whetstones come with a rubber holder somewhat like this, and they are great. But if you don't have one, or if it didn't come with your Whetstone, don't worry too much. You can do it without the holder. Just don't use a lot of pressure. In order to begin sharpening, we need to have the coarse side up. That is going to be this darker, more rough side of the Whetstone, and this will be used to start us off. A neat thing I like to have under my Whetstone are some folded paper towels. That way we don't create a huge mess, and if we do make a mess, it can be cleaned up within 30 seconds. Now you might notice an attachment similar to this if you get a Whetstone set. This attachment is to help with the angle when sharpening your knife, setting it at roughly 15–20 degrees. Why is it set to those measurements, and why do other people use that measurement when sharpening? Let me show you. Let's say that this is your knife. When sharpening a knife, we are mainly focusing on this part. This makes up the whole edge of your knife. Do you see how it makes a V shape like this? Well, this is what actually separates your food into precise pieces. But when this V is flattened and dull, it can't separate your food into pieces, but instead crushes and tears through them, which creates the risk of you slipping and cutting yourself. So in order to cut food, we need to have a nice, clean, and sharp V to make nice, clean, and precise cuts. The reason the blade is held between 15–20 degrees is because this is the optimal range for sharpening a knife. If we sharpen the blade lower than 15 degrees, it will make a sharper knife, but it will be more delicate and it can break more easily. But at the same time, sharpening at 20 degrees or higher can result in a flatter blade, meaning you can't actually cut, but you can squash a tomato. That optimal range in between 15–20 degrees is the perfect balance of both. That way, your knife isn't too weak, but also isn't too flat either. Now that I have explained it, let's actually sharpen this knife. Remember that water I set aside? I'll scoop just a bit onto the Whetstone. This will cause less friction and make it easier to move your blade across. Now, hold your knife firmly and in between 15–20 degrees. Apply a bit of pressure to the Whetstone with your knife and slowly move your knife across. This will not make a pleasant sound, but just bear with me here. Now, make sure to get the whole edge of the blade. And when you reach the tip of your knife, tilt up slightly so that you can make contact with the tip's edge as well. You will continue a motion similarly to what I am doing for a few minutes, and then flip your knife around and do the exact same. Flip every few minutes or so and check under a light to see if you have large pieces of your knife missing. If it is all clear and only has tiny bumps on it, then we can flip the Whetstone to the polishing side. For polishing, it is the exact same motion and technique that we did before. Remember to wet the stone first because it is very thirsty and would like a glass of water. But in all seriousness, if the Whetstone feels too dry, just add a bit more water to make the process a lot smoother and easier. Again, start with one side for a little bit and then flip to the other side and do the exact same process. When we are sure that the knife has a good edge now, check to see if there is a burr. It will feel like a slightly rough surface on the edge of your knife, and we want to get rid of it to make sure that our blade is aligned, or else the process was for nothing. And for the most part, that's it. A simple but time-consuming process, but the end result is worth it and is a lot more safer to use now. Oh, and the water that we set aside? We can use it to clean our stone and rubber holder. That way, we don't need to use extra water washing them under a sink. Now that we're done, let's retry the paper and just look at how it glides through with barely any effort at all. Incredible. Now, we're going to do 2 pieces of paper towel instead of 1. I'm going to roll them up and just watch how satisfying this is. This is absolute cinema. Such a clean cut with almost no resistance. Almost looks like a cinnamon roll. So there you have it. That is how you sharpen a knife with a whetstone. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. Leave a like if you want, and have a chocolatey good day.